Here's another information that I want to bring your attention. He's going to explain to what regulations are in the United States and stuff.
Because the company is regulated and paying a government organization to get the title of being regulated doesn't mean that they're not scam. Now they have the moving industry, for example, in the United States. All of those companies are regulated by the DOT, by the Department of Transportation, and the public.
Okay, for one, the moving company is not regulated by the DOT. Matter of fact, it's a service, not regulated. But the DOT does regulate. They regulate gun. You have to register your gun. You have to get a gun license if you're going to carry it, or if you're going to conceal it, you have to have a license through the DOT. Or if you're transporting if you're driving a commercial vehicle or a private vehicle, you have to have a driving license. And on the side of the trucks has a DOT number. What this does is to tell law enforcement who owns that vehicle in case anything ever happens. There's also uh, I think it's an MT number, or is a motor transportation number. They have to have that, and it goes back to the company because all the vehicles got to be inspected and updated to be on the road, and that's why it's regulated by the DOT. But let's listen to Mike a little bit more.
Utility Commission in their local states, and half of those companies are scams. They're legal scams. What they do is they'll sign you a contract, it's like a 10 pages contract, where you sign that if they use additional packing materials, then you will pay more than the quoted price. Now, what those companies will do is they'll quote you $200 or $300 to move your one bedroom.
He is correct, though. There is a scam in the moving industry a long time ago where they did this. And it was new companies that are trying to break into the moving company business that did this. But they were shut down. Too many people complained to the district attorney. They went to court. The homeowners usually got 4 times back on what the contract was and the additional money. So the small companies really stopped that real fast after they started losing a lot of money. But let's go on.
Apartment from San Francisco to San Mateo, for example, they'll say, okay, it's going to take 3 hours, and at the end of the move, the driver is going to come up to you with a contract and say, okay, now based on all the packed materials and the additional services, now you owe us $2,000 before we unload your goods. And this is real. Check out all the reviews online on Yelp. You can go.
Okay, Mike really doesn't know nothing about what it means to be regulated. But let me show you about some of the countries that don't know nothing about regulation. This is Mexico. But let's take a look at Mexico and their regulation.
We just want to demonstrate, once again, the National Institute of Standards on Electrical Engineering here in Mexico. It's muy importante that you're able to thread the wires through the trees and down through the poles.
This is your regulations in Mexico.
No importante,
which there isn't none,
that they are covered. But it is importante that black electrical tape be used at every junction. This is a marvel of modern engineering. Well, here I am in Mexico.
Now, here's your regulations in Iraq. I know this for a fact because I was over there, and you can look it up, but this is no regulations. I mean, come on, this is a nightmare with wires going every which way, especially look at that one. Dangerous. But I was in Iraq and I had to fix all of this when I was over there, which was a nightmare. No transformers. Directly, all the wires are going directly in. Where's the transformers? Transformers is supposed to save you from getting a surge from the main line towards your house so you won't have a fire in your house. But they don't have transformers. You won't find them. Then you want to hook up your satellite to get TV, but it's going through the electric, so you're going to get interference. You're not going to get good reception. But let's go on. Oh, here's India. Now, they got good regulations, right? See, these people that talk on binary options about regulations, they don't know nothing about regulations because they come from a country where there's no regulations. Who's putting this stuff in? Nobody's regulating it. I mean, come on. You can barely see the sign right there. But that shows you there's no regulations, so they don't understand regulations. Let's try Syria. Well, there's more of that messy electricity, no regulations. Then you want to know why there's a lot of fires and stuff that happens. Look at that wire. And if you want to check it for yourself, you just type that in. Okay, let's go to Pakistan. Oh, I don't know about this. Look at this electrical. Oh, nightmare after nightmare. No regulations because they don't understand regulations. But let's go back to Mike. He thinks he knows regulations, but let me tell you something before we click on to Mike again. Regulations, whoever does the regulating, they will give you a fine first. It's not a real big fine, it's a little fine to get your attention. Then they go to a second fine, which costs a little bit more. If you do not listen to the regulators, you can get your license taken away. And you can't operate a company without a license. But that's what regulation is. But let's go listen to him.
Go to movers.com, try to get a quote from any of those companies. All of those companies are going to be regulated, and I'm telling you, half of those companies are scams. So for you to think that because a company is not regulated in the United States, it necessarily means that they're a scam, that's not true. Now, if you do some research regarding the industry, you're also going to find some reviews from people who claim that the companies are manipulating the expiry prices. Now, this is another common misconception because even the brokers will tell you that the price of the asset that they're showing you on the graph is not a reflection of the actual asset's price. Therefore, you should use live charts like in investing.com. Now, the expiry price is 100% synced with Reuters. Most of the companies work with Reuters. They provide you real-life data of the expiry prices.
Which he's not telling the truth there. They do manipulate the prices. And if you need proof, I have it on my website from a former person that worked in the binary options, how they use backdoors to bump people out of trades, and they have done it to me.
So even if they do manipulate the price before expiry...
See, he says, if they do it, he knows they do it. You have to listen to everything he says.
Because that's their selling price. They're allowed to do it.
Now they're allowed to do it? He's trying to tell you that the brokers are allowed to do it. He knows that it's all a scam. All the brokers and everything, he knows the scam. And he's trying to make it sound like, oh, they're legit.
Contract between you and the broker. And you can also sign up with Reuters, and you'll see that the prices of expiry match 100%. You see, now I'm not trying to say that it's simple, you're going to be a millionaire and you're going to be rich by trade.
But anyways, just more proof that he doesn't know what he's talking about.